The origins of graffiti are certainly subway graffiti, which is more relevant to what we do in graffiti itself. Dates back to cavemen and Egyptians, anything like that. This is subway graffiti, and it originated in one certain era. It's predominantly a New York phenomenon, but also had a lot of origins in Philadelphia in the States, and it comes from both of them in the late 60s.
What interested me in this project was specifically was the free rein that we had at the start when we came up with the concept. So basically it was up to me to decide what I wanted to do, and then all we had to do was come up with how we were going to do it. So what specifically interested me about this project and the idea that I had was working with different mediums and different styles of calligraphy, typography and graffiti-based lettering.
It was a big challenge for me. I thought as soon as Robbie told us about what it was about and calligraphy and that type of thing, it was something I was really interested in doing, and on the grand scale of it, it was a massive project, and I was like, can't turn it down, you know. It was just too good of an opportunity to do something on that scale that I'd never done before, and using new techniques and skills and working with younger lads and things like that, and yeah, it was as a group, and just great. I mean, I think it's turned out good, and yeah, we hope the final thing will turn out nice, hopefully. What got me interested in the project was just working with young kids and the challenge of it. I mean, it's not the type of thing that presents itself in the work or the artwork I would produce myself. You know, the dynamics of it's different, and the energy the kids have got. It's a lot different, and it's a challenge to do something very specific as opposed to something open-ended in your own thing.
More Than a Word originated when my colleague Paul, who is one of the delivery officers for Find Your Talent, came to me with a proposal to deliver a project where he wanted large groups of young people based North and South Tyneside to work with professional graffiti company Newline and a designer who specialises in calligraphy and sign writing as well. And he was very interested in creating an opportunity where the work that resulted from such a project would actually form a formal exhibition within the gallery space itself.
The project came from an idea that I had a few months ago. The idea was to basically take the work we've been doing with school kids and give it a new platform, and the gallery was the thing I thought would be the best place to do it.
We came up with the idea that what we would do is we would do a series of workshops building up a stock of work to put into the show, and then we would create an art installation after that.
The ethos of Find Your Talent is to give children and young people opportunities to take part in at least 5 hours of cultural and creative activity every week. This project is just one small part of it, and what we're hoping to achieve in the last year of Find Your Talent, which is coming up, is to work with all our partners to create the best opportunities for young people by working together and offering them a real joined-up opportunity.
More Than a Word stems across both boroughs, North and South Tyneside. We've worked with primary schools, secondary schools, community centres, youth development centres. We've worked within autistic units, we've worked within mainstream schools. We've tried to cover as many areas as possible to give every young person, no matter what age, ability, level, whatever you think, give them the chance to engage in this project.
What we're hoping to do as part of the Pathfinder Find Your Talent project is to encourage the children to look at a wider range of activities that they would do as part of their daily lives, to not think that anything's outside of what they can do in their area, that there are opportunities right across the board that they can take up. And the children have had the opportunity to think completely for themselves. They haven't been told by a teacher what the project was or what it was that had to be done. They've had the opportunity to be independent in their thinking, and in terms of their learning in general, that's what we're trying to do, to develop more independence in the children rather than being passive learners, be independent learners where they're making decisions for themselves and having to take responsibility for their own work. It's about giving them tasters of things they've not tried before.
It's useful as an educational tool in the simple way is that it's engaging. Pupils like this, very, very difficult to engage. And the second thing, most importantly for me, was that a pupil's been able to use this to get accreditation. A third of a GCSE project is involved here, and all the other pupils have produced work that we'll be able to get certificates for.
I've been really pleased with how the young people have taken to the project, because they've all been really up for it, especially in the sort of graffiti side of it, because it's something that they haven't had a chance to do anything with. They've also been great in sort of coming up with ideas around their personal identity, which is what's going to go into the art piece at the end.
Main tips I would give when starting would be to just look at other people's work and gather all that information, and then work up your own style, basically.
A lot of people think it's a bit more immediate than it is. It is relatively immediate, but you know, you need initial drawing and sketching prior to going, but you don't just go in with no preconceived concept. You go in with a plan like you tackle anything else, and you'd work off that, and the more work you can do prior to doing it, the better. You know, if you've thought about your colours and everything like that, it will help greatly, because the rest of it is the same as anything else. It's practice and confidence, really, but the planning's the most important bit, I would say, if you've never did it.
Well, we've been doing like sketching out our own like tags or names, people's names in the graffiti style, and then we've been like trying to graffiti it onto boards and make it look all cool and graffiti-like.
I found spray painting quite easy. I thought it was quite hard, actually.
I like that when I can like put the details onto me name and make it bright and colourful.